Welcome, everyone, to the Commentary Podcast. I am your host, Pat Brennan. Today on the podcast, we are going to be watching one of my favorite films of all time, William Wyler's Roman Holiday. It was released in 1953 and it stars Audrey Hepburn and Gregory Peck, and the plot is as follows. Overwhelmed by her suffocating schedule, touring European Princess Anne takes off for a night while in Rome. When a sedative she took from her doctor kicks in, however, she falls asleep on a park bench and is found by an American reporter, Joe Bradley, who takes her back to his apartment for safety. At work the next day, Joe finds out Anne's regal identity and bets his editor he can get an exclusive interview with her, but romance soon gets in the way. Joining me for this rewatch of Roman Holiday is one of my friends, Vikash Patel. I'm going to be dropping his social channels in the episode bio, and he recently just started a new podcast, actually, and I love this new podcast. It's called Cinema Pursuit, and I will also be dropping the link to that in the episode description as well. Now, I'm going to be watching the 4K copy that I have of this, but it is also streaming on Paramount Plus for those subscribers, and you can rent it on Apple TV for $4, Amazon for $4, and Vudu for $4. So I say we don't waste any more time. I'm going to be pressing play on Roman Holiday in 3, 2, and 1. A
Let me know
Paramount
if this is.
Picture.
I love Paramount Picture, honestly.
So the first
Gregory,
time you watched this was what? Like last
a
week?
week,
For
exactly
this?
a week ago. Exactly a week ago. It's not even been a week. It's exactly a week. I spent my Saturday night watching this, and it was 100% worth it. William
Perfect.
Wyler, a goat, man. Truly a
One of
goat.
the best. You know, this was the first American film ever shot in Italy.
And rightfully so. I was reading the IMDb after I read it, and I was like, or I watched it last week, and they said that they wanted to shoot this in Hollywood, and gladly, good thing they didn't. This movie looks great.
Mm-hmm. Audrey Hepburn's first, essentially, role.
Oh, I see. Whenever I watch an older movie, I have to like go back and like, oh, how old was this person?
Yeah,
Audrey was 24 in this movie,
yeah,
and
it's wild.
she is this good at 24.
Because this was originally written for the male lead was supposed to be Humphrey Bogart. No,
And
not Humphrey
Bogart
Bogart.
was
No,
like
not Bogart. Cary Grant, I
Cary
think.
Grant, and he was like, oh,
Yeah,
she's too
he said I'm
young.
too. Yeah, I'm too old. Which is funny because then they're in charade like 10 years later together, like
Oh,
playing love
of
interests. So
course,
it's
of
like,
course. I mean, she popped off, and rightfully so. She did.
yeah. I think after the first time they watched it, like Gregory Peck like turned to the producers and was like, "Yeah, she's gonna win the Oscar." I guess he knew it right
Oh,
away.
wait, she won the Oscar for this?
First act, yeah, best actress.
Oh,
She was the
wow. Okay.
first person to ever win um, the BAFTA, the Golden Globe, and the Oscar for the same role, and this for like
Oh,
first person ever to do it.
that's awesome. That's awesome. My problem is like I'll watch old movies and then I'll really love them, and then I'll hear randomly like, oh, they won Oscars. I like, okay, that makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, when I watched this, I was like, oh, this is giving me like Princess Diary vibes in a
Oh
really
yeah,
good way.
so like it's like loosely based off Princess Margaret, like from England, but they never specifically say like where she's
It's
from because they're
her.
like, oh, part of her tour is to go to England and see the Queen and everything. So it's she's from a made up country essentially.
So
Because
Genovia.
yes, like the they didn't want
From
like the royal family to get like pissed at like
Oh no,
why are
this
you
is the best way
portraying
to do
us?
it.
Yeah.
This is the best way to do it. And that makes it age even better. It's like in Top Gun Maverick where you see the enemy, but you don't know who it is because it's like
Yeah.
you don't know what the politics is going to be later.
Just
I
these
wonder if
sets,
these are
like
real
just these sets,
places.
they are real places. Like
Okay.
these sets are like obviously it's like a real place. Like compared to like movies now, like I just see these older movies and these sets, I'm just like, wow, like
Oh yeah.
no one like puts this amount of like effort into like sets anymore, I feel like.
Yeah, I just watched a Bollywood movie. It's called Rocky or Ronnie,
Mhm.
and they have a set in the movie, and it's just exquisitely made. It's like the work is being done. It's just they should be doing it more.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because I was
When she won the Oscar for this, she was, like, too excited, and
yeah.
she forgot it in the bathroom. So
Oh,
it was in the
wow.
bathroom for a while. She couldn't find it, and I was like, "Oh, I found it."
And I love the costumes in this movie,
Mhm.
the skirt that she's wearing later in the movie looks really, really good.
I always love this bit coming up of her shoe.
Oh, with the shoes?
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking when they did that? I was like, "Who thought of this?" And, like, I would have been laughing the entire time I shot that.
It's such a great way to, like, introduce, like, she doesn't like this lifestyle, like, she's just, like, kind of over this, like, she puts her feet down, like, like
I th
and then she's,
I
like, trying to find, like, the comedy of it, trying to find her shoe, like
Yeah, but I th it's comedy, but, like, there's a tension behind it. There's, like, a
Mhm,
genuine tension behind it, and it was like, "Oh, it's like this almost is, so regular to her that she's just taking one off, just casually, just rubbing her feet."
yeah, and then being
I
like,
low key love that they have Indian people right here. I was like, "Yeah, we used to have, princes or, like, kingdoms and stuff in India before, the British came, or even when the British were there too."
Mhm, yeah, very diverse crowd here,
Oh, rightfully so. It's well done.
and even her face there just being like,
Yeah, she's like
just, like,
I was
saying
like,
hi
"Wait,
to,
do
like,
they really
100
do
people.
this? Do they really make people do this? This seems so annoying."
Saying hi
I
to, like
love the monocle dropping off his eye. It's just a small detail, but I feel like someone thought of that.
Yeah,
And also, like, the calf strength must have been crazy. Look at this.
mhm.
One heel. No, but I'm being genuinely serious. I was cracking up. I was like, "Who thought of this and who's shooting?" Like, I was like, "Let's just get a shot under her skirt doing this."
Yeah, and I always love the looks down here, they're like like, no one notices that her shoes gone.
And it's like it's perfectly shot too. It's like I love the shots.
It's like those Spielberg, like, insert shots of just objects on the ground that it
Oh,
reminds me
yeah.
of, like, right there, just like, because 'cause there's been, like, no dialogue from them at all during this entire sequence.
And it's well made.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
just
being
it
like
just comes together well. And I feel like from the William Wyler movies that I've seen, he has a lot of good scenes without dialogue whenever he does it.
mhm,
And I think I've seen maybe 2 of his movies besides this.
yeah,
Definitely Ben-Hur and then probably one more.
this is my favorite one of my favorite movies ever. Yeah, it was, like, freshman year. I think it was on, like when it was on demand when you had to scroll through, like, HBO, like, list.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I saw Roman Holiday, and I was like, "What's this?" And I saw Gregory Peck, and I was like, "Oh, I've heard of him before."
Actually, Gregory so my dad grew up in Bombay, like, in Bollywood, like, my grandfather worked in Bollywood along with my dad and his brothers doing, like, stills work and producing and stuff, and, besides James Bond, Gregory Peck is, like, one of the Omar Sharif, like, from, like, Lawrence of Arabia. There's only a few names where it's, like, they permeated around the world, and Gregory Peck was one of those dudes.
Mhm. Oh, he was
So
great, like
I've always known his name. I don't think I've seen at least maybe 5 movies of his, maybe more, but it's like we respect Gregory Peck in this house.
oh, yeah, and for this movie, because it was her first, like, obviously anything, so he obviously got top billing, like, he was getting people
Yeah.
obviously knew Gregory Peck was, and
So
halfway
then af
through, he, like,
they
went to the
changed it up?
production he went to the
Yeah.
production and was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to pay her the same amount as me. She's top billing too, because she was
Oh,
that good."
wow.
It's like,
At least they
We
did.
respect Gregory Peck here.
I mean, because, like, nowadays, it's like even still, it's like women aren't getting paid, in parody or
Oh,
as
it's
much or if
terrible.
not more, yeah. Even, I saw Origin. I saw Eva DuVernay was talking about her movie. She was like, "Yeah, I couldn't get a studio to make a movie with, a black woman being the lead in her like 40s being the lead of the movie." I was like, "Ah, I was like, great."
Crazy. I mean, at the time to for like, a guy to do that, like, that's
Yeah,
unheard of. So like
I'm
she needs
laughing.
to be paid the same amount
Yeah.
as me. Like
I
imagining the
love the little
studio executive.
rose. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know. They were probably blowing their cameras like, why are we paying women? Who respects women? It's
God.
like women were the main reason these older movies were working,
Oh
honestly. I mean,
yeah.
this is like literally this is what 53. This is the same year
Hmm.
that Marilyn Monroe is like popping off, if I remember right.
Hmm.
I just rewatched Some Like It Hot this year.
Oh,
Man,
so
Billy
good.
Wilder.
One of the best.
I could do a commentary about that. Just amazing work.
One of the
And
best.
it's like these guys, they knew how to shoot action, do the dialogue, do the comedy.
Hmm.
I feel like no movie nowadays would take enough time with these scenes. It would like the camera would be moving and they would just try to like edit it as fast as possible, like to make you feel stressed.
Hmm. The tear coming down there.
Yeah.
Her just like, and that's why they shoot the close up because you're just like, she's so tired of this.
I think the shot at the end of the movie works very well because they don't use that sort of shot the entire movie.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite shot. So when we get there, we'll talk about it. It's my favorite shot.
Yeah. Oh no, you already I already changed your mind favorite shot. I'll talk about mine when we get to it too. I love and this movie is like he takes the time. They really took the time to frame this stuff. And is this 4 by 3?
Hmm.
Yeah. It's like when it came to 4 by 3, I don't know. It's like as kids growing up, we watched 4 by 3, but then we don't. I don't know. I grew up and then I realized the art behind it, behind that sort of framing.
Hmm. Well, originally it's like a lot of the like either when they put a movie out on like they would say full screen DVDs,
Yeah,
it's because TVs were the 4 by 3, so it would cover the whole
yeah,
image.
yeah.
So if you put a widescreen, because I would get widescreen DVDs and the image is so small on like a 4 by 3, like I can't see anything. It's like
Oh
it's like so
yeah, yeah.
far away.
Wow,
So
you
that's
unlocked
why
a
they did
memory.
that.
You
That's why they
unlocked a
did that.
memory. I don't even. I remember that being a problem, and I haven't thought about that in like 15 years, man.
Yeah, and then like I didn't really notice it because obviously I was like too young, and then I think I forget to point it out to me. It was just like, oh, you're cutting off half the image because they're just like essentially zooming in because these
Yeah,
aren't shot like you're watching like say you're watching like The Fugitive, like it's not shot for like so they're
yeah,
zooming in
yeah.
on the image, like
And just you're not getting the framing they
yeah. But
intended.
with this, like you would get
Yo,
the whole frame in
look at this Michael Jackson doctor stuff here. This
it.
stuff is something
Even
else,
he's
man.
just like, ugh, he can't even look.
But it's like I think there's like I so that's not her father, correct?
Um, I think he's like a general or something. Okay, yeah, I think because she's just on tour. It's
Yeah.
just like her.
I'm
She's the princess.
yeah, that's why it's like I think one like emotionally I saw that as being like he's very much attached to her in that way. It's like that he's
Hmm.
like, practically it's his own daughter that he cares about her that much. And even he doesn't want this to be happening and he
Hmm.
understands that why she's in this emotional state.
And even having her like being like looking away from everything during that, and you don't even see as the audience the needle go in because
Yeah.
it's the innocence of her is what I felt like
Yeah.
during that.
Oh yeah. It's like the needle is the most irrelevant part. It's like the emotional
Yeah.
cell is very much there. I think the placement of all the mirrors in this movie are well done too.
Hmm.
Because I think there's one here, the one in the shot that I'm going to talk about. I think there's one in Peck's place too.
Hmm. But I love about this scene too. It's like
Oh yeah, the
even the way that they were dressed compared to how she's dressed and like her hair's down, like they're still
yeah,
like in their like royal pajamas, and she's just like,
they're working and she's like, time for bed.
yeah, she's like, anyway, like she's very good at
I
playing like
feel
an
so
innocent, like oblivious person to like doesn't want this lifestyle.
and I love this because it makes me think I'm like she probably goes to all sorts of places and then she's up there, just looking around like, "Oh, like what's the features on this ceiling today?"
Hmm.
I love this right here. I love the just the shot outside. I'm like it's like nowadays they would have to show the person in the same shot looking outside to make it feel
Oh
real.
yeah.
But this it's simple, elegant, and it feels real. It doesn't take away. or it doesn't, feel disingenuous that like,
Hmm.
oh, she's not looking outside the window.
Because they showed that shot when she first was looking out the window, but when they cheated it the second time, it cut to more of a close up, as in
Yeah,
like she's connecting now with more going on the outside. So that's how
yeah.
you're that's how you
This
establish,
skirt.
okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna go out now.
yeah. I
And she's
love this
bold,
skirt right here.
scale. She's like Ethan Hunt right now. She's
I
scaling
love,
like
I love, I love this shot right here. This wide. I was like, oh, I was like, that's how you do scale. And you see the shadows on the guy at the bottom
hmm
just walking. And when she comes back around, when she gets to the bottom, yeah, this is my favorite shot right
the
here.
mirror, yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's just like the elegance behind this, where it's like it feels like an unending, like an infinite room, and it's
Hmm.
like I don't know,
Just all the lighting too.
it feels so epic, just
I love this
epicness.
shot. This is a shot I love of her
Yeah.
running around it all.
Speaking of Ethan Hunt, Mission Impossible Fallout, when he's getting chased in the church, right? Where he
Hmm.
like runs around the top. This is what's happening. I just right I realized McHugh and Tom are stealing from William Wyler, Aubrey Hepburn.
Probably was a reference.
Yeah, look at this shot too. Like
Yeah,
that
I
shadow
feel like
right
you just like
there.
oh yeah, I feel like you just don't see these shots anymore in Hollywood movies.
Yeah, which is sad because the problem is like no one's
Even
doing what
just
Gordon Willis did, where it's
oh
like,
yeah,
okay, we're gonna start with a dark set and then we're gonna light. It doesn't feel like that, or it doesn't feel real.
even just like the lighting is just so like you don't have these like dark shadows anymore in movies. Like with just a
Yeah,
strong light. Like it's
and
obviously an
it's like,
unnatural way to light things. Like things aren't
yeah,
lit like this in real life, but it's like it works. Like it's a movie.
it's
It should
either
work.
it looks like a movie or it looks natural, and
Yeah.
that's what the two goals should be. And right now we're somewhere in the middle where it feels lost. Because we watched Arrival and that movie feels extremely like naturally shot,
Hmm.
and then this kind of feels naturally shot to me somehow too in my head, where it's
Yeah,
like,
it's because you buy the lighting like
yeah,
because they're establishing it as she's moving around.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I just watched Equalizer 3, which is very much set in Italy too,
Hmm.
and it's like the scale that they show in this movie, just of people like this shot right here, the people sitting, all that stuff sells better in this than any moment in Equalizer 3 for me.
Hmm. There's your foreshadowing to later when they ride the little Vespa around.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love this fountains. Wherever they like whoever did like the scouting for this movie, whatever it is, like genius work.
Hmm.
Not to keep talking about Tom Cruise, but there is a scene in this movie where I realized I was like, "Oh wait, that's where they shot Mission Impossible 7, that chase with the cars." I was like, "Okay."
Oh yeah,
And now I'm like, "Oh yeah, like this is the OG." It quite literally is from what you told me, right? It's the first American movie shot in Italy.
yeah. It's crazy.
I love the details with her just like, just zipping through, just being
Hmm.
not purposely disrespectful, but it's like usually she has the squad.
Hmm. That's why she's like moving like a lot quicker too.
Yeah.
There he is.
Good old Gregory Peck. I'm not sure who the actor is that plays his friend, but he was really good at this movie.
Hmm.
I like the beard.
Oh yeah. Just whenever I just watch older movies, just different vibes, like just totally
Yeah.
different vibes.
No, I definitely have to. I don't know. Do you know more? I don't know if you know Marta McFly. She was just talking about another movie from the 50s. I was like, oh, I just watched Roman Holiday. I need to watch this now.
40s, 50s. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. 40s, 50s, 60s. I mean, they were cooking. I was thinking about The Killing tonight. Just thinking
Oh
about
yeah.
I think that is 50s, yeah.
It
Even
was like early,
Kubrick was
maybe early. I think
making
it was 60. Maybe it was. I think it might have been 60, like or 60 or
okay.
61. Yeah.
Because this era, it was just something else. I am glad people are shooting black and white though again. It doesn't
Hmm.
look like this though. It does not look like this.
Well, I think Wyler also, due to production, they kind of had to shoot it black and white. It's going to be Technicolor.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay.
but then when they were like, "Oh, we're going to shoot it in Italy," the studio was like, "All right, well, I'm not going to give you a lot of money then." So it's cheaper to shoot black and white, obviously. Then, um, and also he
Or
also wanted to shoot it black and white because to take away from the romanticism of Italy in the background, because people would just be like all the
oh,
color of
Italy?
Italy in the
Yeah,
background, just being
yeah.
like their eyes would just go there as opposed to the main characters.
But I think the beauty's still captured.
Oh yeah.
I love the innocence of these older films though. It's like
Hmm.
nowadays you can't even think about this being a situation in a movie. Just having a woman just, sitting or laying on a I don't even know if that's a bench.
Like next to the Coliseum. Like,
Yeah.
but it's perfect. It's like you shoot this at night. Like it takes you can the Coliseum's just like there. Like you're not your
Yeah.
eyes aren't drawn to it.
True, true. I didn't even realize it was the Coliseum. I was just like, damn, this place looks awesome.
Pretty sure I think it is the Coliseum. It makes sense.
Bro. She's so good. Like, and I
First
know
movie.
Peck was probably flexing, right? At this point, like
Yeah,
just in his career.
he's probably like yeah. Because I mean, obviously Mockingbird was not for another 10 years, but
Okay.
he was still at like people knew who Gregory Peck was. Like he's getting top
Yeah.
billing, and he probably was just sitting there acting across from her, being like, "Damn, this girl's good. Who is she?"
Yeah.
Basically, like,
He's like they did a good job with this.
well,
Like,
one of the reasons he just got out of a divorce, and like he had always wanted to do somewhat like 'cause this is like comedies. He'd always wanted to
yeah.
do something like this, but he always said he's like they always just offer those roles to Cary Grant. Like I don't get those roles. It
Yeah.
just goes to Cary Grant. And then
And
Cary
it's
Grant
like
passed, and he was like, "Maybe I just need
gladly,
to."
luckily, man.
Yeah, he's like, "Maybe I
Luckily
need
that
to."
Cary Grant passed.
He's like,
Because
"Maybe I just need to get a different like go to Italy." Like it's the first shot there, and
I
then
think
they
I
both
think Peck
him
more
and
than what's Peck more than Grant. I think there's a better energy here.
mhm.
I feel like Grant's energy would have been a bit off in
Oh
this
yeah,
role.
because I think Peck's more like his comedy's more subdued
Yeah, yeah,
than
yeah,
like a
yeah. It
Cary Grant
is.
would be. And it's actually funny, like him, Peck and Hepburn both met their future spouses on this movie.
Oh,
So he
so
met his
it
wife
really
on
was
this.
romance in Italy.
Yeah, met his wife here, and they were together ever since.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, I love the glove detail that she has. She went outside. She kept the gloves on because she doesn't know that regular people don't wear gloves.
Yeah. I love that framing too of them separated.
Yeah,
But you keep like the cab driver and him in the same because they're like essentially they're being like, "Who is this girl and why is
yeah.
she
They're
like?"
they're the ones awake, and then
Yeah,
there's this lady who's just
the
like
crazy. Yeah, the
or
separation of like,
seems drunk, but she's
yeah,
actually
seems drunk.
high.
Yeah, yeah. Anyone would probably be like, "This girl's like," you probably would think she was drunk.
Yeah. What's messed up is nowadays if they showed this
Oh
situation,
yeah, I remember
the
when I
dude
first watched it, I was
no,
like,
no, the
"Oh,
dude no, no, the dude would definitely be trying to take advantage of the woman.
oh yeah." It's like, yeah, Gregor, that was maybe a little aggressive there, Gregor. Like, take
Yes.
it down. A notch. You just shake her
You
head.
just take I mean, they wrote this right. I didn't realize it was Trumbo who wrote this movie,
Oh
or
yeah,
Trumbo and then like three other people.
yeah.
And the only reason I know
He was
Trumbo is
blacklisted.
because of Bryan Cranston. I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
lie.
blacklisted, so he couldn't.
He
His
didn't have his name
he
on the
like
movie.
so it won the Oscar. I think at that time it was just best story. I think it was.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he won the Oscar, but his like best friend had to go get it for him.
Oh,
And then it wasn't until like early 2000s, I think, when
was
this
that
came
like
out.
communism related stuff?
Yeah, he
Okay.
was blacklisted for that. And
Oh,
William Wyler also was like wasn't blacklisted, but he was like also nervous about it all. That's why he wanted to go shoot this in Italy because they
okay,
thought that he
okay.
was a
He was a
communist too.
communist.
Yeah.
Man.
a lot of people had to leave. Like Charlie Chaplin had to leave. Like a lot of those people had to leave.
Jeez, a lot
But
of
then it's like early 2000s, I think they
people who
finally
had their heads
put
on right. I don't know what
yeah
else to
put their
say.
put Dalton Trumbo's name back on it as the soul. So he's now credited on. But it's like
Rightfully
his
so.
pen name's actually I think in this restoration I'm watching a 4K
Same.
that I have. His name I'm
Glorious
pretty sure
4K.
is in the credit. His name
It
pretty
is.
sure is
It
in the
is.
credits. Yeah,
It is.
so they put it back in,
I love
which
this conversation between Peck and the driver.
mhm.
Because you can tell this man is very much an Italian, and in
Yeah.
this, it's a genuine, like an organic conversation where I'm like, if I went to a different country, this would happen.
There's a little cut there, very quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't catch it last time. I
Mhm.
caught it now. But it's like back then. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it's movies here, the movies I've seen in India, the shots are longer, but they're better. I think the shots are better, and the editing is better too.
Mhm. I always love this because it's like he's not even directing her anywhere. Like she's just following.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just lost puppy dog,
yeah.
which is really what she is, right?
Basically, yeah. But I just love how he's not like guiding her at all. Like he's just like, but she's like perfectly following him.
She's used to this. She's
Yeah.
used to this. That's
This
what
is
it
this is my
is.
favorite. This is my favorite right here. When he's like, "All right, let's go up the stairs," and then she goes around.
No, I love the comedy in this movie. I think it hits the like the timeless comedy. Like there's a physical comedy that always hits well, and this is that.
Mhm.
I call it Three Stooges, but it's not three. It's not just them that did it. Oh, this I
Even
love
that,
this.
yeah.
This is so good. It is like it's
Even
like
just that,
the
yeah.
perfect the way that he like grips her hand is like yes, it's hilarious.
It's a
This
good way to
felt like
like
it was a set.
it's a
This
good way to
one,
like oh yeah, this is definitely a set, but it's a good way to start like their chemistry. Like
yeah.
you just have that no dialogue there where it's just like
It's like you get the
sh
vibe of like
yeah, you get
he's
the
got to
vibe
worry
of
about
like,
her.
yeah, he's gonna have to yeah. And the timing of that knock, like you have to like put that perfect.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, no, no, they definitely had to shoot that a few times.
yeah.
Hey, but you never know. They might be so good to where they didn't have to. There's some actors that
One
are
take.
like that.
One take. Love that.
The pajamas she was dreaming about, man.
Yeah.
The man of her
Basically.
dreams. Excuse me? And he's just acting like it's another Tuesday.
They actually approached them to do a sequel in this, like the 70s.
What
But
was
it
this?
like
Was
it
this
never
51?
53. She probably shot
53.
52. Um,
Ah, so it
but
would have been
it
that
never
would
went
have been weird.
anywhere. Never went anywhere.
Luckily.
I could see both of them being like, nah, I'm good on that. I don't want to do that.
I mean, like, there's no more story to tell.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, it's
Like
like the
it probably would have
way,
just been like a like um because obviously spoiler, people watching this, they don't get together
yeah,
at the end. So, but
yeah.
it could be like them seeing 20 years later they run into each other again. I guess you could do like a before trilogy type of thing of it, but
Not to be a spoiler for another movie, but this reminded me of Lost in Translation. I don't know if you pull that sort of
mm,
correlation, but
I
this
wonder if
very much
she
felt like Sofia Coppola watched this and then was like, "Oh yeah,
yeah.
Japan, and then ScarJo and Bill Murray."
Wouldn't be surprised if she
And
actually
then
like
it's
watched
like
it
and then
before.
it's like a riff onto her own life with, Spike Jones and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
but this is the base and it's like the perfect thing to copy.
It's like this and It Happened One Night.
True. Yes, yes, yes.
Both same
Yes.
vibes. Actually,
He
Capra
is
was
a
approached to make this. Capra was approached to make this, and
yeah.
I think
And
once
then
because I think he saw that it was written by Dalton Trumbo,
yeah.
and he didn't want to be a part of like the whole Red Scare thing, and so
Yeah.
he dropped out.
Dang, that would have I mean, it would have been good too. He would have done a good job with this, obviously.
If you get him, you're getting probably like Jimmy Stewart's probably in this movie.
Jimmy Stewart would have been a whole other
Yeah,
vibe. Same thing with the comedy right there with the dress or the skirt just dropping off.
yeah. Him hiding the liquor because he thinks she's like drunk.
Yeah. And or he thinks she's an alcoholic, but he hits the jackpot. Half Christ's Secret. This line read, I was like, this dude might have been in a Bond movie. There's an this lady, she looks like an actress. She was on like Macbeth. Did you watch the Macbeth that the one Coen brother made?
Yeah, I still basically say it's a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah, oh, it is, it
It's like,
is.
yeah,
But
it's like even
the
though the
lady
new one
that
coming
plays like the witch, she looks like that lady.
out. Mm.
I think she's the mother in The Witch, Robert Eggers, The
Oh yeah,
Witch.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Another great bit here
That's one this movie, the genius. I love these sorts of comedy bits. Like
because it's
this
like
is
there's
how
no dialogue. It's like it's all just
there's no
like a physical comedy bit.
it's physical comedy, but that's because like literally I could show this to anybody, whether they're, American, Chinese, Indian, anybody can relate to this movie without even knowing what's going on. They'll find the comedy within this, and that's what
Hmm.
the geniuses do, in my opinion. I mean, this is genius work.
I feel like even actors nowadays probably wouldn't even do this. Like they'd be like, "No,
Oh
we just
yeah,
stuck
oh
that
yeah.
one head
There'd be a
there."
lot of ego there.
Yeah.
And Hepburn probably hit her head on
Oh,
that table right there with
definitely.
the books.
And that chair did not look comfortable. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, nah. After that day on set, her back was hurting. Her back was messed up,
oh yeah,
even at
even sleeping on
24.
that, or she's missing lies.
And
The
all
government
these
has told lies once
conspiracies
again.
yet again. Yet again. It's the small things. It's always the small things, man. Like Peck is, sleeping the other way. And now
Hmm.
he's looking at these feet like he's Tarantino.
Yeah,
Like,
being
come
like,
on.
"What?" He's like, "Wait," and
He's like,
Quentin's
oh,
like,
what?
"Wait."
He thought this was a dream.
But also that shot too, they like gloss up her feet too. They give that
Yeah.
melodramatic look.
Tarantino loves this movie.
Oh yeah, he's like, "I love that scene."
I watched this movie just for that scene and then I just turn it off.
It's like, "All right, Quentin."
I was talking, I mean, or we watched Django Unchained recently. I was like, are there no feet in Django? And Zach's like, no, we see Jamie's feet in the movie. I was like, okay.
He's got to keep the bit
I
going at
love
this point.
Yeah, I love the two shot here. Same thing of Hepburn looking out the other window,
Mhm,
where it's like this is probably a first story, and then the camera's just placed perfectly to where it looks like the guy's in a like a high rise
mhm.
building scale where they don't necessarily have the money to build that sort of scale.
Oh, yeah. Just go to the
I
rooftop,
love
shoot it.
I love these sorts of scenes. I was just watching Towering Inferno, and
Mhm.
Paul Newman is doing this. Bond obviously does this. Peck is doing it too.
Probably got the reference from here.
Yeah. Whoever did it first, I'm like, that's my movie logic. Whoever the oldest movie I saw that did it, they did it first.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably watch some other movie from like the 40s and they did it. It's like, okay, no, they
Yeah.
did it first now.
You'd be surprised how many people copy older movies. Just simple
Bro, I
techniques.
mean, it's the best way to do it. That's how you gotta cook. It's just put all the pieces together from a bunch of random people. That's your style. Peck was trying to be slick here.
So if you look really closely, he's reading the script for the movie. It's literally just a script.
Is literally the
Yeah.
script. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's just like I remember when I
Bro
first
forgot his
noticed
lines
that.
real
I
quick.
remember when I first noticed that, I was like, "Is that the script?" And like, 'cause I've seen this movie so many times, and I was like, I went to like IMDb, and I was like, "Yep, there's an interesting fact. Yeah, he's reading the script." Like you could literally
That's
just see it right
awesome.
away. It's like Marlon Brando. Maybe this actor just refused to learn his lines. Give me a
I
line.
mean, hey, Coppola knew what he was doing. He's like, I just got to get this shit done.
Yeah.
Like at this
So yeah, like
rate,
he's literally just reading the script.
he's like, oh, I forgot my sides today. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll just take the script. Weiler didn't care. He's like, I need professionals.
Yeah. He's so good at like playing a guy with confidence.
Yeah, and Peck is kind of a lanky dude, so I
Mhm.
relate low key. But I like the way the suits fit on him. Whatever they did it right
Mhm.
with the costumes on this.
Alright, you got me. I was lying.
Mr. Bradley. I just realized the or the real life or the whatever the in the post like Spielberg's post, Tom Hanks's character, he's also Bradley. Like the real guy was named Bradley.
Mhm.
I guess newspaper men are always Bradleys.
Wait a minute. I know her. I saw
Oh
her
my
feet 10 minutes
god.
ago.
Indian movies do this a bit, but it's like if it's done as a comedy nowadays, it's very fast paced, but they do a good job with it with the comedy of like these sorts of moments.
Mhm.
There's this one Indian director, his name's Priyadarshan, and I'm talking about this man will have like five people, and they'll do a oneer of like comedy, and it'll be as genius as this.
Mhm.
So it's like but you don't know. It's like people are building off of this sort of stuff and then just making it their own in a great way.
Yeah. You just have to take the bits and just change them a little bit or just copy them.
Oh
Like
yeah, or it's like copy them or like just like really try to figure out what works within your world essentially because it's like
mhm.
everybody's got a little something different. This man gets the award for the most Italian looking man
Look,
in the
indeed.
entire movie.
Doesn't even hang up the phone. His bill's gonna be so high.
Imagine having to explain to somebody that's a rotary phone
I know.
because I had to explain that to my niece. I was like, oh my god, I feel old. Oh, of course his name's Giovanni.
He just walked on the set, you're like, "Alright, we're good. Just for
Peck
you."
went Peck his character went from being like, oh yeah, it's like yeah, like I'm just helping out this girl who had a bad night, and now he's like kidnapped her,
Yeah.
keep her in her
Lock her
place,
in there.
get the Glock. I love the placement of the newspaper in his pocket.
Mhm. But I love how, like, when he first entered his office, he did this he stopped and went, and he went into, like and that but then the next time he in, he was
It
like, "Alright, I got this now, like,
Oh yeah,
I don't need to lie anymore."
his entire
Yeah,
body, like the facial expression he has. He went from being nervous to now he's just like, I'm
yeah.
confident as hell now.
I don't need to lie
And they
anymore.
probably shot this like right back to back, same
Mhm.
time, and he just kills it, man. Oh, Peck sits on a lot of desks, doesn't he? I remember him sitting on a desk in To Kill a Mockingbird.
I love the look he gives.
Yeah.
So drawn in.
I think it's the framing that works real well. This man looks like he's looking at God.
Maybe he is.
I mean, it is Peck.
I love the use of the door to have him snap out of it. He slams it.
Good old sound man.
I looked adjusted for inflation. His 5 grand would be
Bro,
$44,000 now.
tell me why I was thinking about that. I was like, I should have looked that up.
I was
You
like,
said
how much would that be?
44,000?
It's 44,000 for one story. Yeah,
Jesus, that is a lot of money to have that much
for
spending
one
power.
story. Yeah,
Man definitely would have been able to go back to New York and have that
yeah.
apartment with a kitchen, man.
Could have bought like a house, 3 houses.
Back then, shoot.
Yeah,
Nowadays,
20 bucks got
44,000
you
is
like
not
a
gonna get
Buick.
you like rent.
Yeah, $20 got you a Buick back then.
Jeez. Money was real back then. Now it's like fake money.
Oh yeah, it's just numbers in a computer.
It's all in the
I always
cloud.
make the joke. I always make the joke that money's not real. Like this isn't real, guys. Like you
It's
just
just because
made
we
this
put
up.
it's quite literally just because we put faith in it or
Yeah,
else
you literally just made this up. You're saying this is worth $20. This bill.
nah, it's got Andrew Jackson on it. It's worth nothing to me. Wait,
Oh
no, it's
yeah,
Hamill. Is it Hamill? No, yeah, it is Jackson.
yeah. I
Uh
can't. What a great guy
I
Andrew
need
Jackson
see
was.
I need me some tub mints ASAP. That's all I gotta say.
Good lord,
Run me some Harriet tub mints, and
Jackson.
I will burn the rest of the 20s.
I love the bit. Like he's a soldier guarding the door.
Yeah. See, did you catch that? Peck is too tall to walk through that door.
Yeah.
I can relate to that, man. Like if you go to like India or anywhere else, like where they got like short dudes,
Mhm.
yeah, like
You're
you
just
just
like,
gotta like my brother would literally anytime he went in the car, he'd have to have a pillow to put on for his top of his head.
that's funny.
So it wouldn't keep bumping the top of the ceiling in the cars.
He actually lost 15 pounds making this movie. Just
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
I don't know if it's summer in Italy. I don't know. You can't really
Oh yeah,
tell because it's black.
they filmed it during the summer, and they said it was like at least
Yeah.
95 every single day.
Yeah, I was probably sweltering then. I mean, it looks like they have them in a pound of makeup. I mean, back then, I
Yeah.
mean, I
And then
didn't
he said,
realize it till what Del Toro said about like trying to convert Shape of Water to like black and white is like the makeup that they do for these movies is completely different to what they do for regular like color films.
mhm. I think he said he only ate one sandwich a day. That was his entire meal.
Jeez. I can't even eat one sandwich. I need like five sandwiches in a day. Shoot, man. But I guess they got better food in Italy.
That's true.
This is
Maybe he
is
ate
this act
one
wait,
16-foot sandwich.
is this like the first movie where it's like it's made in a location, so it's like just because this movie is made there now, we have to go visit?
Yeah, basically.
Because they just I mean they have movies where I feel that anytime I go to a new place, I'm like, oh yeah, like Chicago, okay, this is the Dark Knight right here.
She's like me in college, sleep until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Bro, I could never.
Now
I
I'm
would
like
feel
up at
this.
7 a.m. at the latest. Like,
Nah, I get up at like 8, 9-ish, maybe earlier. But yeah, she living her best life right now for real. And you can tell like his entire demeanor's changed as soon as he walks through the door this time around.
mhm.
And how far are we into the movie this time? Like at this point?
Probably you're 43 minutes
Fo-
in.
40, yeah, okay. You know, the only reason I ask is because I think I remember like looking at the time this far into the movie and realizing I'm like, geez, it's been 40 minutes.
Hmm.
And I'm like, no movie would take this much time before. Like this, like, and I said it personally. I was like, if I made this movie, I would have done this in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And inherently, I think the negative is that I would have done this in 10 minutes. There's a beauty to them doing this with 40 minutes.
Hmm.
There's actual, it feels there's legitimate care behind it. They earn their 2 hours. I think they do it well.
Because they've never even really had like a conversation yet. Like it's been more of like she's
Oh
half
yeah.
asleep, so they still have yet to actually have a conversation.
It's been shenanigans. That's all it's been.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shenanigans in this movie. Some good shenanigans, man. I love all the bits with his friend. Bro's just throwing his man aside. He's like, I gotta get this money, man.
Listen, do you see who's upstairs? It's kind of wild that people used to like walk around in suits. Like that was how they went outside. I'd be
I
sweating like
mean,
all day.
yeah,
I would lose so much
bro.
weight. Maybe I should
I
do
was
that. Maybe I should just wear a
I need
suit
to do
all the
I need to do that, dude. I put on it sounds weird to say, but I put on pants for Thanksgiving. I usually wear shorts. And I walked in the house with like 3 12 packs and I was sweating. I was like,
time.
and then you think of like him or like Chris, like Gregory Peck's wearing a suit. Christopher Nolan wears a suit to like almost every set that he walks
Yeah.
on. And I'm like, oh
While
yeah,
he's
it's like
filming.
now I'm like, I actually I like suits. So I'm like, that would probably be me, but like I'd be a little bit more chill about it. Now I'm recognizing it. I'm seeing his tie. I like his tie too. It's low key,
Hmm.
but it's like it's a good tie.
And you switch to the close up because now they're gonna get more. Now
More
their
dialogue.
relationship's about to start.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's her looking around again.
Yeah, I love this.
This is what she's always wanted to be normal.
You mean broke?
Yeah. Again, normal, bro.
True, true. Very true.
Wait, who are you?
Another white man standing over me again?
Damn, Audrey Hepburn in your bed? I'd be like, yeah, she's in my bed. Audrey Hepburn.
Be like, hello, ma'am. Woman of my dreams. I found her. Again with a like a shift. I don't think any actress would let anybody shoot that short a shot like up her nose, like up her
Hmm.
nostrils.
But at the
I don't
time,
know.
yeah, it's her first, so it's like she probably doesn't know any like. She's just like, yeah, I'll go along with anything. Like,
No. Ego, vanity, whatever it is. I mean, and it doesn't look bad or anything. It's just
nah. But I also love
people would
that where it
just
was more like he separated them in the shots because she didn't know where she really was.
yeah.
And then when she gets more comfortable, you bring it back to them both in the frame. I love that little bit. Like her pants are still on. Like it's like don't like. And then you pull back a little to like a medium close up, so she's getting a little more
Comfortable.
comfortable. Yeah, as opposed to just
it's
by
it's
full.
like it's like I couldn't even if I wanted to. I feel like Aubrey Hepburn knew like judo or something in this movie. Like she was one of those princesses. She
Hmm.
could kick ass.
She's in John Wick 5.
I mean, Anna de Armas is doing ballerina. Len Wiseman coming in like May. I'm excited for that. Low key. Now that I think of it, now that I mentioned it, Anna de Armas got a little bit of Hepburn in her.
They do have like the same kind of facial structure.
Yeah, but it's like it's almost where it's like she has a good like I guess visual performance, not just like attractiveness, but it's like bit
Hmm.
like just like the way they use their body, whatever their faces,
Oh
the facial
yeah.
expressions, they do it well, and it feels like a genuine energy. I don't know what movie
Yeah.
I'm thinking about with Ana de Armas, where like she smiles and you feel happy, which is weird.
Hmm.
Like, what's happiness, man?
Well, even that moment right there, like
Yeah,
when she shook his hand, they were both in the frame, and then when he went to sit on the bed, she like startled because obviously a man has never done that,
yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah.
you cut back to the close up between them.
I love this right here where she's covering
Yeah.
herself up and she's literally wearing full pajamas.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
She's never interacted with a normal person before.
I love that there's at least two or three moments within this bathroom and we never go inside the bathroom. It's
Hmm.
just this is the closest we get. I think it's the
Yeah.
closest we get inside the bathroom.
They probably didn't have the budget to build the bathroom, so
Yeah, so it's like this is the bathroom. That's it.
just
Because
have
I don't think the
non-effective running
camera
water.
moves from yeah. Because it's very obvious that like they never shoot any reverses this way. All the shots
Hmm.
are from this side of the room.
Oh yeah. He does kind of like lock her in there. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, all right, Gregory's kidnapping.
I was a bit impatient. I was like, oh, like who are all these dudes that he's playing cards with? And it's like, oh yeah, they show you who these guys are.
Hmm.
This man would not be seen in a good light nowadays.
I don't know.
I was like, this role would not exist.
You'd really have to change this maybe a lot because everyone have cell phone. Everyone would have cell phones, their own personal cameras. Like,
Yeah, it's rare where I mean, I wish directors would make more movies set today and use the technology today and do it right.
mhm.
And who was it? I was someone who watched Vinay V. I don't know how to say her name, but she watched Decisional Leave and Bong or not Bong, but Park Chan Wook does a great job doing the like using the Apple Watch and like just regular technology nowadays in that
Mhm.
movie. This maid bit is hilarious.
Oh,
She was happy. She was happy for him. She's like, good for him.
yeah.
Ooh,
I also
wine
love
bottle.
I love how she finds that right away.
She's used to it.
Yeah, this drunk.
I wonder if that's like a matte painting or if that's like something that they constructed out there. But whatever it is, it looks
Could be
really
a.
good.
They could have had a photo that was like blown up.
Yeah.
I guess there is kind of a small tub.
It looks like a sink.
It literally looked like just a sink you would stand in. Like,
Yeah. I wonder what she's saying in real life.
I know. And she's never had like she's always over had servants. Never had a servant speak to
Yeah.
her like that.
She's never had anybody yell at
Like
her,
someone that would
probably.
come in like that, and like who would she would see as a servant.
Yeah. No
It's
kid
just like a maid
gloves.
here, yeah.
Yeah.
Like being like, "What are you doing?"
And I love that Peck just puts in, two and two together. Is like, oh, the maid
Yeah.
came. It's all perspective. I like that. He's like, I'm trying to fight to get paid. Like, just to, and
Yeah.
she's like, oh, this life is fun. On some real life stuff. It's like, you got to find what makes you happy, man. Like, does not matter what it is. Because no matter how much money you got, it's not going to make you happy. Like, actually happy. Not as happy as I am looking at this skirt. This is like the fifth time I'm mentioning this skirt. Like, it just looks like it's a really well made skirt.
They actually, they let her keep all of her costumes and jewelry from the set
Awesome.
as
Because, I
like
mean,
they're like a wedding gift to her.
I do love the hair. And then I was like, I love her hair in this movie. And then I'm like, oh, that
Hmm.
like literally what's about to happen.
Oh yeah, which is a bold move to like do that.
And like you said, it speaks to what you're talking about, where it's like this is her big first thing. And only then would you say, oh yeah, I'll cut off my hair for this movie. I
Hmm.
assume that she cut off her hair in real life, right?
I
I
think
love
so.
the framing
Yeah,
here.
so effortlessly edited too.
Yeah. Because it's like back then, it's like you're pretty much editing in frame, where
Hmm.
to some extent.
Like you know what you're gonna, you know what you're trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this right here, this bit right here is well done too. Because it's like it's a shot that they've already used before. Now they're doing this dialogue, and then Giovanni comes out. He's like, "This
Yeah.
man,
It's like you
bro,
pay
you
her.
owe me rent."
Yeah.
Pray tell, you got that money? At this scene, I was like, "Oh, it's like, does Giovanni think that's like a prostitute?"
Yeah, basically, yeah, it's probably what he thinks. And he's like, he has money to do that, but not pay me rent.
Yeah.
But it makes sense why she wouldn't have any money because like
Oh yeah.
royal people like that, they don't
She
carry the
doesn't
money.
understand what money is.
Yeah, they
Either
don't
way,
carry the
she would.
money. Everything's paid for with everyone around her, so she just walks around. She never has any cash on her.
It's like, oh, how much is a gallon of milk? Like five hundred
Yeah.
dollars, right?
How much could rent be? $10?
It's probably like 50 cents.
Little
How
Arrested
much of your
Development joke.
income? Half of your income? What?
Wait, all of your income? Then you want a car?
Tomorrow. This is the
So,
original,
it's so diet.
in Spider-Man 2 when he has that when he has the
Or the
guy that he's
landlord?
renting the room from. Yeah. This is the original.
Yeah.
Sam
This is where
Raimi
they
was
got the
watching Roman Holiday.
yeah, this is where they got the reference. Be like
So
Giovanni in Roman Holiday.
yeah. So this scene specifically, I was talking about what is it, Equalizer, where it's
Mhm,
like you want this like small town feel. I'm not sure, or this is Rome. So I mean, this feels like a busy town almost. Like it feels like a living place, and they really did this well.
mhm.
And
They said
it
that
quite literally pays to be in the place that you're trying to emulate,
oh,
right?
yeah, and they said that, like, the crowds would swarm them, like, when they were shooting.
Of
It's like, you can
course.
just tell, like, look in the background, they're all just, like,
Oh yeah,
staring at
they're
them.
all staring. That's like
Even
even
him, they
dude,
all just stare
I'm
at
talking
them.
in India, like it is by no one can beat the craze of like
Yeah,
someone trying to shoot a movie in India. And
mhm.
especially if it's like a star like a Shah Rukh Khan or something, like you'll literally have thousands of people
Oh,
just
yeah.
going crazy.
I always
I
love
love
looking
that
for that.
this hasn't really changed much. Like if you go
Mhm.
anywhere in the world, this is like people are still selling their stuff like
Oh,
this
yeah,
still.
and that's probably the best stuff you're gonna get too, honestly.
Yeah.
The street vendors. You, like, eat it, like, "This is the best apple I've ever ate in my entire life."
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
like
was I was literally just talking about like turmeric or something. I'm like, yeah, that homegrown stuff is better.
yeah.
Oh, you're definitely right about like the black and white because like I've seen that whatever in real life, and I'm like, that would be like the main thing that you're looking at
Oh, yeah.
instead of Audrey.
Mhm. See the crowd in the back just all watching.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. They
I
frame it well to where it's like you don't really the focal
yeah.
point isn't on them.
Oh, yeah. I love looking for that in movies. Going back to Mission Impossible when he's in
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fallout, when he's running across the bridge and you can see everyone in the background just watching him
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
bridge.
Are
It's
you
like
talking about in Mission 3, right?
in Fallout when he's like,
Oh, in
when he has
Fall.
to
Wait.
run, when he's basically
Oh
just
yeah, oh yeah, oh
he's
yeah, oh
running
yeah, yeah,
across
yeah,
that
yeah.
entire, like, runway and, like, yeah,
Yeah,
you look in the background on the bridge, you can see just everyone just watching. Because it's
yeah,
like you
because
can't
it's
tell
like,
them that they can't stand there. Like,
yeah,
they're
and
so far away.
they're not worried about paying,
Yeah,
for CG removement or
yeah,
anything.
it's like because on a first watch, your eye's not gonna notice that. The more obviously you watch things, you're like, "Oh, look, there's a crew member standing in the back,"
Dude,
like, you can clearly see.
I've seen Fallout maybe 10 plus times, literally one of my most rewatched movies in the last 10 years. And I still haven't noticed. I'm about to rewatch
Yeah,
it soon and I will see it. I'll like, oh yeah, there are people on the
yeah.
bridge.
Oh yeah. And then you start seeing crew members, and you're like, "Oh, there's a crew guy standing right there. You can clearly see him." We're
Yeah.
just walking around.
But I feel like they understand it's like if you're invested in a story, you're not gonna
Yeah, it's all about the first
necessarily,
watch.
yeah. And it's either people respect it when they see it again, or they start complaining for no
Yeah.
reason.
Oh, don't worry. Film Twitter turns on movies in five. Give it 5 months. They don't
Three
like
three
the
months, 3 to 6 months.
movie. They don't like the
And it's
movie
not just
anymore.
film Twitter. It's like when I was like back when I was on Reddit, same thing. It's
Yeah,
like
it's just
I don't know what's in the water where it's like, oh, I love something, now I hate it.
yeah.
It could
It's
never be
cool to
me.
hate. Cool to hate popular things is what it
It
is.
it could never be me. Bro got the bowling ball watermelon.
Yeah, that looks like a pumpkin too. It's like, what
Yeah,
is this?
yeah.
Like, I love her face being like, I don't know,
Doe-eyed.
the innocence.
I love this. I love this bit right
Oh
here.
yeah, like it's like he's
I
gonna
can
like
see this
kidnap
this
this
bit would
child.
happen today still. This would be hilarious. Give me the camera. Give
It's
me
just
the
like
camera. Nowadays it'd be like stranger danger. It's
basically, yeah.
like, Mom, this dude's trying to molest me.
He literally just like the teacher would be like smacking him. He's just trying to rip this camera off of her.
Nah, this it's a hilarious bit. I love it. I was thinking about? I was like, that's some valuable hair right there that they're sweeping up.
Seriously.
Like someone it's like literally like the way that people talk about like the royals of anything, like especially like
Mhm.
the British royals, like they would literally buy that hair for like whatever, like $100 an
Your
ounce or something.
There's your iconic shot there. Their hands and their hair.
Oh, okay. I've seen that before. I didn't realize it was from this movie.
Mhm.
Wow. It's been a minute since I've seen it, but I know exactly what I've seen the photo before.
And apparently, like her screen test for this is one of the most famous screen tests of all time.
Is it
Like,
on the bonus
I
features
don't
for
think
this?
I don't know. I haven't really dug into them because I think these are the same features from the Blu-ray, so it's probably the same. But
Okay.
from what I heard, like the executives were like blown away and were like, yeah, you're gonna cast her." It's that screen presence. They probably just were like looking at her like this. She has
So did
even
women start?
Gregory Peck knew. Like you just acting
Yeah,
across the board. Like this person has
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like
Did women start wearing this style like for their hair
oh
after
yeah,
they saw this?
I was
I
looking up to
feel
like
like
this was very popular style. Became in Japan. A lot of
okay,
Japanese women had this style
okay. Because I
because of
feel
this
like
movie.
I don't know, because I feel like I would do something of that sort where it's like it's not this necessarily, but it's like it might be like clothes or something like that.
Hmm.
It's been a while since it's happened to me. I remember this yeah, this is what I was talking about. These steps right here.
You
They
go
use
Mission
them in
Impossible. There
yeah,
you
they
go.
use them in Mission Possible and both scenes are just as great. I think
If obviously we have to get them on the pocket. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna get them
yeah,
on
yeah.
to talk about it. But I bet you if you brought this up to them, be like, "Yep, we watched Roman Holiday. I wanted to see how they did it." Like,
Yeah. Because I think they use these steps in Fast X also,
I think
but
they do. Yeah.
it's not exactly as like I don't know,
What are
memorable
you talking about? It's all about family there. This is the family
as
steps.
it is about familia, man. But there's no familia on these steps. But I remember Klementov's character coming down these steps with like
Yeah.
the big Humvee thing, and then they're going around in the Mini Cooper like drifting.
I know whenever I see these in any movie, I'm like, "Oh, Roman Holiday steps." That's all I
Yep,
call
yep. Because it quite like I didn't realize it until you said it. Obviously, though, this is the first movie where they did this. This is
it.
that
Mhm.
movie.
And they, like you said, like they use the
Sorry, this bit with this
it's
is what I'm talking
okay.
about. This physical comedy is like, and bro starts haggling. He's like, this girl's trying to
Yeah.
beat me down.
But it's just that they have no idea that she's literally like the princess.
Yeah,
But like you
He's
said,
like,
they
and
they
he
they
sees
use.
he sees like the $1. He's like,
Yeah,
nah, I'm good.
I'll give you one flower. Oh, here you go. But they use these like obviously iconic like locations, but
Yeah,
your eyes like this is probably where my eye would mostly be drawn to in this whole scene.
yeah.
Like all the other places, it's like you're just watching them.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I love the
No,
be
but I
like,
think the
all
framing
right.
here is purposeful, where it's like they showed a wide of it, and now like the Z axis, not to get
Mhm.
stupid or what, like technical with this is like it's quite little. They're
Get
showing the depth
technical.
of this
Get
frame to
technical.
like to make your eyes like go up that way, dude. If
Mhm.
I talk like this with some people, they'll be like, "Gosh, can you stop doing this? Can you shut up?"
Get technical. That's what I'm here for. We're gonna get
We're-
we're gonna get Sir Roger Deakins on to talk about this.
yes. Sir Roger Deakins. Do you listen to his podcast? I'm gonna plug Roger Deakins' podcast right now. If you don't listen to that man, listen to him. I love the detail here. Do you see the clouds going by in the back?
Mhm.
I was like,
Mhm.
this is impeccable framing. And editing back then was just, quite literally them, splicing film together, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
So, like, if
even
if
the
if your, like, next shot, if, like, it didn't have the clouds in the right spot, it's kinda just, like, whatever, like, it doesn't really matter,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
your eye's not supposed to go there.
yeah.
See how it's kinda more cloudy now, so it's like
Oh yeah, it is. It is now. Yeah, it's overcast. It might be like a whole different day, or like it's been a few
yeah, or,
hours.
like, an hour later, hour or 2 later, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he even looks up at the clouds there, like, like,
Yeah.
some way to be like, "It might look like it's gonna rain here."
Now, obviously, there's a lot of subtext here of like what he wants to get from her, and he's playing the game with her to do this, but in classic romantic comedy fashion, he's falling in love with her.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in an area with horse-drawn like carriages?
Oh, yeah, I grew up, in the suburbs of Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and then I lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania for, like, a year, which is where the Amish
Yeah.
are,
Oh, okay,
um,
okay.
so a lot of horse-drawn
So it's where Witness was
buggies
shot?
there. Yeah. The Burger King there, that's the Witness was shot,
That's
yep.
that yeah, that's a bad thing about me where it's like, "Oh, you're talking oh, this? Okay, it's
Yeah,
Witness." It's, like, I have to have a movie as a reference point.
that's where Witness was shot,
Like,
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
because we are in the downtown, like where I live here in Savannah, we have like a historic downtown. We're the first city in Georgia, whatever. But
Mhm.
we have horse-drawn carriages, and you got to watch where you're walking because in
Oh,
some
yeah.
places you will see just horse shit, and you don't
The
you like
most
you'll
famous
smell it before you see it.
yeah, the most famous movie shot near me, basically all M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Oh,
I was on the
shout out!
set of The
Oh
Happening
wow,
for
that's awesome.
the wind scene, which was funny. And then watching the movie again, being like, "This movie is not very good." But
Hey,
to me, it's gotten to a point where, like, this movie is just, like, hilarious. Like,
yeah,
The Village shot there. Signs was in, like, Bucks County, and then I actually saw them shoot few scenes of Marley and Me. Then, the house at the
bro.
very end
Yeah, yeah.
was my neighbor's house. My house was, like, right next
Oh
door.
wow. Okay, okay.
So I saw, like, the snow scene, the burial scene, I saw them filming that.
Awesome.
So that was, like, a big thing when, like, it's like, "Oh, there's Jennifer Aniston, Owen Wilson," just like, "Hey," like, make direct eye
Yeah,
contact with
yeah.
them, like
We the biggest movie we had for a while was like Forrest Gump. The literally the bench that
Mhm.
he sits on, like that's Savannah downtown.
Yeah, it's, like, downtown, yeah.
And then they've been shooting a lot of stuff here. One of my favorites this year, Ava DuVernay's Origin, is actually like only majority shot in Savannah. The Menu last year, they shot a lot of it here too. May December, Todd Haynes movie that's coming out
Mhm.
or already out for y'all probably there in LA, but same thing. They shot it all here. I love the entrance for this guy coming back. His friend, the photographer buddy.
Hmm.
At first, he's like, "Bro, like, why'd you call me here? I'm not trying to mess up your situation." He's like, "No, sit down, sit down."
This like whole bit that they have going here.
Yeah, no, it's great. She out here, what is she drinking? She's drinking champagne, right? And I love the glasses. It's very Italian, like classic.
Hmm.
I have a friend from high school. She or whatever at her house, her Nona, she has these glasses that she drinks her wine out of.
And I love like the two girls that passed him and touched him. Like it's all you need for like his character. I mean, this
Oh yeah,
guy's
it's
like,
like they you know it's like, oh yeah, this dude's like a womanizer.
yeah, he's a womanizer. It's like that's all you needed.
You should drink, but no, you should leave.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna kick you later in a bit.
And bro's like, you got this wine on my that's a lot of wine, dude.
Yeah, like that's
It's
gonna
not as
cost
much wine
me.
as like Philip Seymour Hoffman gets on his shirt in Mission 3, but it's a lot. Bro, the wine's gone. Not the nitpick, but the wine's gone off his shirt.
They probably shot this first. There it is. It's back. Do you know how to sit? Yeah, right. It's gone again. Wow. How dare they try and trick us like that?
I'm like, and you don't notice the first time. I'm like,
Oh
no, I
no.
don't worry about continuity like
That's
that.
why
But it's like
I
if
always
it's
get like,
popping, it's popping. I
yeah,
see it.
I always get people that like get angry. Like, there's no such thing as a perfect movie. It's like there's always problems with like that. They'd be like, see, he's not perfect. His shirt doesn't have the stain
No.
now. It's like
It's
you're
like
like, ugh.
what's it's like Bob Zemeckis complaining like, oh yeah, like Back to the Future's not like perfect. It's got like there's a couple issues in there. I'm like, shut up. You just made it
Yeah.
like the one of the best movies of all time, man.
It's like if it's perfect to you, it's perfect.
Yeah. And it's like and you accept all the
Oh yeah,
whatever people complain about. It's like
there's
I but
flaws.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that stuff. I like that he's kind of a bum in this. He's like, come on, I gotta make rent. I gotta
Yeah.
do this. But it's like even then, like even after all that, then it's like, oh yeah, this doesn't matter. I got feelings.
I'd be like, bro, if we do this and I give you some of the money, we'll be set for like 3 years.
That would actually be great. Like think about and you said it was like a few. I mean, back then, I mean, yeah, like you said, it was like what is it, $40,000 today? I don't know if anybody could be set with that much money. I know
But
people who make,
at that time, you'd be like,
yeah, you'd be good.
oh yeah, you'd be good for a bit.
Bro, y'all making this poor girl smoke. It's giving me a headache. Got like as cool as smoking looks, don't do it.
It does look cool on film.
Oh yeah, it always does. Uh who is it? Russ Cole in True Detective. That man look he looks so bad in that role, like when he's smoking, but he looks so cool doing it at
Yeah.
the same time. Like he looks like a drug addict, but I'm like, why is this so cool though?
Hmm.
I wonder if they really have cameras like that, like the lighter camera that you can like blow up photos for.
Probably. It's like spies have that. The
Spy
spy
stuff, yeah.
camera.
And this was the 50s. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. There's also a very subtle thing that they did in the middle of that conversation. The camera just panned up because they knew
oh
that
yeah,
they were
yeah,
going
yeah.
to stand up. So they just like
Yeah.
left it there, like just so they didn't have to do it
My
when they
my
stood
problem sometimes is like sometimes it feels like the camera movement it happens before the organic moment
up.
happens.
Hmm.
There's a shot in La La Land where where Emma Stone's character is where she first walks into the bar and sees of Ryan Gosling. And for a second, the camera tracks, it starts moving before she starts walking towards the bar. And
Hmm.
it's like no one catches that, but it's like there's a part of my brain where it's like, oh my God, come on, guys. I understand y'all probably don't have time to do it again, but still, it's like
Yeah.
these guys, this is
Love the
hilarious.
that is
These
insane.
Charlie Chaplin looking Mr. like agent, like whatever the dude from Neo.
But I
From
also love it. It's
Matrix,
like
jeez.
the bit
Yeah.
of them, like how many people are trying to find her and they can't find her. Like,
Yeah.
here's your other. This is the most
The
iconic.
iconic, yeah, the poster too. I wonder if they really let them like let Gregory Peck just like, okay,
Yeah.
well, just ride with her this way. We're just gonna get this shot real quick.
The sale of those like Vespas like skyrocketed after this movie.
Of course, it had to. I had a teacher in high school who had a Vespa. I feel like he probably did because of this movie. He's that age. He was that
Yeah.
age. Good old Colonel Kincaid. He was a colonel teaching high school. It's like AP US history. Cool dude.
Hmm.
He probably loved this movie.
See, I feel like now that this would just be like a blue screen, and then they would just be like, "We just need a
God,
shot of inside
it's
the Coliseum."
yeah.
It's like they're not
That
actually
that would
looking at
and
it.
it's
Like,
like the fact that you that would happen, it just hurts my brain. It's
oh
like,
yeah, you're just like they
come
just
on,
wouldn't do
y'all.
this anymore. It's just like,
And it's like the movies that do have like, these sorts of scenes, now they're like big budget movies.
oh
When I
yeah.
think of Rome in the last few years, I'm talking Spectre, Mission
Hmm.
Impossible 7. I'm like $100 million, maybe $200 million plus movies for both of those. I
I
think
think
Gareth
I think the budget
Edwards
for
with
this
a
is 1.5
12
million.
million. Yeah.
1.5 million.
Oh,
Which I
it's
mean, if you
oh no, they made
adjust,
12.
yeah,
The-
adjust, yeah, they were pretty much over budget too. So this wasn't like a huge like. I guess the studio probably thought this wasn't going to be a huge financial hit for them, but
Yeah.
and popular. Now it's like one of the one of the greatest movies ever made.
The parallax on this is a little that shot was a little weird. But I think
And
it's
you can
because
see
they
that
have her on a
that's not them
track.
there. You can see that's not them there.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, that's stunt doubles. But it works. It
Yeah.
works. They probably just had to give the guy one extra haircut to look like
Yeah,
the back of
basically.
Gregory Peck. I love how this dude's driving the car and he's like trying to take the photos at the same time. I'm like, someone needed a Tesla, I guess. Also, this is Mission Impossible stealing from this movie once again. Because in Mission Impossible 7, they do this little roundabout deal and they
Hmm.
also like are like smashing into stuff and then the police come out of nowhere trying to
I'm
chase
telling you,
them.
they probably watched this whole sequence.
Like you got to steal from the classics, guys. It
Classics work.
works. It always works.
I mean, Macquarie and Cruz are pretty big
Yeah.
film guys. Like they probably
They
would say, yeah, we
they
stole from this.
they love the art.
Yeah,
And it's like
they
I'm
probably would say that we stole from this. I also love this whole scene. There's no dialogue.
yeah. But it's like is there's no need for it. It's like I don't
Yeah,
know. They like I feel they do have dialogue in there, but I mean, I wonder if it's an edit or if this was their entire intention the entire time.
it could have been like there could have been. Sometimes there's audio issues, so it's like, how do
True.
we make this more of like make it more of like a bit kind of?
Yeah. Because it's like once they go outside, it's like it is funny. It is
Yeah.
the exchange between them and the Italians
Mhm.
with the kissing and all that.
Yeah, they're like, don't worry about it. It's all good. Like,
We just shysted some cops. Did they bribe
yeah,
them?
they basically bribed them.
Okay,
Yeah.
because low key feels like they bribed them.
Yeah. And everyone's like,
The
we're all
Italians did
good.
not like this.
Yeah.
The haircut's looking peak now with Aubrey. The haircut's oddly, finally come back around, hasn't it though?
The short hair, yeah.
Yeah. And she pulls it off extremely well.
The great Audrey Hepburn.
The goat. And I didn't realize I don't really, follow too many like celebrities in the past or whatever. I was like, she probably didn't live too long because it's like we didn't see her like, in her older age, but she was
She was
around.
in Spielberg's Always. Spielberg directed her, one of her last
Wait,
movies.
in what?
In Always, Steven
Oh,
Spielberg.
she's in Always?
She's in
Bro,
Always, yeah.
it's been so long since I've seen Always. I've seen all of
I mean,
Spielberg's
that's a
movies.
very lesser
Yeah,
quality Spielberg, but
I've seen them all except the BFG and Lincoln.
BFG is lesser quality too.
Yeah. I really love Bridge of Spies though for Rylance.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why I was like, I don't know about the kids movie. I'm like, I'll stick with whatever they did on
there's
because that was good stuff.
another iconic scene.
Oh yeah.
This is
This reminded me of
this
the
Vespa.
Mummy.
Yeah, the Vespa and this scene are the most probably would say the most iconic scenes in this movie.
Yeah, the Mummy just took this and actually made it horror.
Yeah,
Is it Mummy or Mummy?
I
No,
mean
it's Mummy
the
Returns, is it? I
National
think.
Treasure does this kind of reference. National Treasure too, when he
Oh
sticks
yeah,
his hand
yeah,
in the
yeah. When
grave.
he sticks his hand through
Yeah, and he's like,
whatever in
ah,
the back
yeah,
end of the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't resist, but I
That
love he does the back on.
once again, it's Nicolas Cage probably just doing
Yeah.
that, right? I love it.
He probably would be like, yes, let's do a Roman holiday reference. Yeah, it's an iconic. The when he comes out with they act like his hand's gone.
Yeah, I know that's genius. Good old crossfades. We don't do enough crossfades nowadays, man.
I know. That's what
Oh,
when we were watching. I watched Ocean's 11 for the last podcast. I was like, man, they don't do these just these these transitions
You,
are so good. Like
you know what the
just like
problem is?
let's just do like an optical flip to the next like
Yeah. Like whatever next movie we do, it's gonna have to be something like Ocean's 11, one of
uh,
these movies that I've like been watching since I was a kid. Ocean's 11, genuinely one of my favorite movies of all time.
yeah, I
Like
just did
I've
that for the
seen, like in,
last podcast
I,
with my
s-
cousin.
I, I swear to God, I've seen it like in my house, like just growing up and like till now, we've probably had that movie on like 30 times,
It's
and
so good.
we all love the movie that much. It's like, why are we watching Oceans again? It's
Yeah,
like it's that
'cause it's
good.
so good. Yeah, for the last part, I did it with my cousin, and we are just like, at the end, I was like, man, that movie is just like dudes being dudes. Like, this is just a great
Yeah.
movie. Like,
And Soderbergh says like I tried to make this like a no asshole zone, and
yeah.
I'm glad they did, and the vibe comes off well. This scene very much felt like at this point when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, this feels like they're, low key making a come to Italy, like kind
Hmm.
of an Italy tour. But I mean that's kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, the like
That's
that's the whole
basically what
point of
this
the scene
is.
though.
It's basically what this whole like sequence has been like
Yeah.
showing off Italy.
And I'm not lying. When I go to Rome, I'm gonna do this stuff, dude. I'm gonna do this
They
stuff.
probably have a Roman holiday tour there, honestly.
Yeah. Who's worried about Bond? I'm worried about Roman Holiday now.
Yeah, fuck Bond. We're watching fuck Bond and Mission
I'm gonna go
Impossible. I
lay
want the
down on the
Roman
bench
holiday
that
tour.
I'm gonna be laying on the bench that Audrey
Yeah.
Hepburn was laying on. That seems cooler to me.
I want the Roman holiday tour. I don't want the Mission Impossible tour.
Mission Impossible. A bunch of copycats. I mean, that kind of goes with the theme of like
Bunch of
wearing masks and
a
stuff.
bunch of frauds. Nah. No, like you said earlier, like if you watch a lot of these older movies and then you go like say you watch like a Mission Impossible or like a
Yeah.
Bond movie and you're like, wow, wait, I've seen this before. Like
Yeah.
perfect in
It's
one of
like
the
a
podcasts
retroactive thing for me.
I did for Raiders is in Raiders when they're in the car chase at the end, when he goes under
Yeah.
the car, that's a direct reference to Stagecoach, like from
Oh yeah,
1929.
oh yeah, yeah, it
It's
is.
like
But
it's
it's like, I mean, I don't know. I feel but like Spielberg improves upon it somehow, right?
yeah.
I
So
feel
it's
like
like
the greats, that's what
yeah.
they do. They copy from other people, but they really they give some new juice to it.
Hmm.
And that's what, Tom and McHugh are doing with the stuff they did with Mission 7. I love this scene.
Sorry, 39 was
which I could
strict.
say for a lot of scenes of this movie. But this scene is like purely juice.
Yeah. Oh, I love how you have these guys. They'd be like, they're the bad guys. Like the way they
Yeah,
look. Like,
the tilted hats.
yeah, Bond villain like henchman before Bond.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. What is Doctor No was what 62, I think, if I
62,
remember.
yeah. So it was not for another
Yeah,
like 10 years.
just the classic wise guy running away.
Honestly, if Sean Connery was bigger then, I could see him playing this role.
Ooh, yeah, nah. Sean Connery didn't live up his lover boy days. He should
Yeah.
have. He went to Bond instead. He was a
I mean,
heartthrob instead.
he is the Bond, let's be honest.
Yeah. When it comes to like the lovey-dovey stuff, it's him and then Pierce Brosnan and
Yeah.
then like Daniel's cool, but I
Daniel's
mean
Daniel's my number
the
2
love
Bond.
got to him. Daniel's number one at this point for me. I'm not gonna lie. It's him
I
and
always I
Connery.
always
It's
say
always
Connery's like the Bond, and then Daniel's like right there.
yeah. I think I've watched Casino Royale too many times. I've been converted.
But like Gregory Peck gives off that like not Bond like action, but like that Bond like confidence.
Yeah, yeah. Which is hard to do. Like there's
It's
a
like a
calculus
Bruce
to it.
Wayne type of thing. Like actors can pull off the Bruce Wayne, but they can't pull off like the action Bruce
Bad.
Wayne,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
Batman. But like they can be the Bruce Wayne, the suave like guy.
Yeah. Bro was just trying to get
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, who's this guy?
I mean, I can't blame the dude. He's got good taste. He's going after a
Oh, I'd be
princess.
like Audrey Hepburn. Yeah, like yeah. Do you want to go on a date later? Like,
And he wasn't creepy about it.
nah, it's probably like, hey, party out on the river.
He said, "Oh, you came, thank you." But he
Yeah,
brought a guy. She
and she's
brought a
like,
guy with her. Oh,
yeah. That's when you walk over to your friends. You're like, you brought a guy,
but he ain't gonna let
and then
him. He ain't gonna
and
let
your
it
bud's
get
got to
down.
talk you up. Your bud's got to
He's
talk
like,
you up. No, dude, you got this. You got this.
he's like, nah. He brings it back. He's like, oh, but can I get a dance with her? He's like,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, go ahead. I didn't realize it till like whatever watching it now. It's like everybody's got the same costume the entire movie, pretty much.
Hmm.
Those costume, they probably made a lot of copies or something because it's like,
Yeah. Well, again, low budget, so it's like they can't really.
yeah,
Most of the costume probably designs are coming from her.
yeah. That guy actually looks kind of her age though, the
Hmm.
barber.
Yeah.
How old do we think she is in the movie, and how old is Peck in the movie?
I would say Peck's probably supposed to be maybe late 20s. I could see
Late
her being
20s.
like 20, maybe
I
21.
Yeah, I was thinking she's maybe like at like 22 and he's maybe
Yeah,
like
29,
33.
30. Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's in his he looks I mean, he doesn't look like he's in his 20s to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. He looks old. He's got an old
I could
face.
see Cary Grant being like, I think I'm too old for this.
Yeah. No, Cary Grant looks older. I mean,
Yeah.
Cary Grant and Gregory Pep kind of look the same though, don't they? But
Have you seen Charade with him and Audrey Hepburn?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been
That's another movie I'm
like
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 that
in
was the
the
first ever
it's been a
Criterion
while.
movie I've owned was Charade. Blind bought it,
I
and I was
I
like, I was like, oh, I like these actors. I've never seen this movie, and I put it on. I was
I
like, 5 minutes in, I
I
was like,
saw
yeah,
it
I'm gonna
somewhere.
watch
It
this.
was like it was I don't know if it was TC. It probably wasn't TCM. It was like somewhere like I just randomly saw the movie.
Hmm.
And that'll happen to me where it's like I might see a movie growing up on TV or like somewhere I watched it randomly and then I realize I've seen the movie because I don't know the name of the movie.
Hmm.
And then I'll like go and log it on like Letterboxd. I'm like, okay, I've actually seen this movie.
Oh, TCM growing up was but I remember when I first was able to record the channel, like you record channels,
Bro,
and
we used to do
that's what I
VCR,
saw
the VCR
TCM.
recordings and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
but at TCM, I was like, I'm gonna record this. Saw so many movies. I saw this. because I recorded it again, and like once you record the recording, then you save it. You're like, I'm not deleting this because now I like own this movie digitally at
Yeah,
this
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
I saw that Rebel Without a Cause. I saw so many
Oh
movies on
yeah.
there, and I was just like,
See,
this
for
is all
me,
I
it's
need. This
like
is all you need.
all the 50s and the 60s, all that sort of stuff.
Oh
All
yeah.
my language, my history of it all is it's all in Bollywood instead of this.
Hmm.
Because it's like it was my grandfather's era and my dad's era kind of put together. So it's like my
Hmm.
dad always knew a lot about it. So it's like we always watched those sorts of movies growing
Hmm.
up. So it's like I've got real respect for the 50s and 60s everywhere
Oh
on
yeah.
earth pretty much, but it's like I still have a lot more to watch. And it's
Oh
like
yeah.
the more I find, I know I'm gonna love it even more.
That's why it's
And
like,
it's like the frame, all this framing work is
hmm,
impeccable work.
no, it's that's like what
I
I'm
love
saying.
this
It's like,
bit right here of him like hanging off the bridge.
yeah, it's like some of these movies are just like they're just even shot better than movies today. It's like
Yeah.
they just have a different vibe. I feel like I'm not trying to rip on movies today, but because obviously
Oh yeah, no, no,
there's
no.
some great movies that
I
come out like every
I
every
have the
week. There's some great
same
movies coming out,
complaint, but I can say the same thing where it's
but it's
like
just like,
for every movie that I complain about, there's just as equally a good movie where I'm like, oh,
oh
this
yeah,
is amazing. This is moving the art forward or anything of that sort. I'm like,
hmm,
people are still doing it, but it's not being done in a way where
no,
it's the most like seen thing or anything like that.
yeah. I feel like this movies today seem like more, not all, but like movies just seem more of a product as opposed to like actual like
Yeah, art.
art in a way. Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, we were talking about it the new Hunger Games movie. When it gets to the back end of that movie, not to spoil anything, there's scenes in a forest with the main characters, and the way that they shoot the scene is just it's fantastic for me. It's like
Hmm.
the lighting is perfect, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is how naturalistic lighting in a forest should look. It looks
Hmm.
artistic. It looks like there's art behind this, but it's like it's awesome.
Hmm.
It's simple but elegant, but people don't want to do simple and elegant anymore.
No.
And there's look at this, like look at the shadows of where they're running. Look at the framing here. Like it's
Hmm.
simple, elegant, and it works extremely well.
Like even this, like it's like this not natural like shadow. Like this doesn't like
Oh
this
yeah,
isn't how
yeah,
you
yeah,
see things. But it's like again, I always tell people again at the end of the day, it's a movie. It's not real. What you're
yeah.
watching is not real. You can sell something on the screen, and as long as the audience just goes along with it, it's fine. Like
Oh yeah.
those types of shadows that you're establishing, you establish those early
And
on.
it that
Once
that
you
goes
get an
with that
hour in,
it
you're
goes with
fine.
visual. Oh yeah, it's like it goes with your visual language and it goes with the story language too. It's like if you're trying to talk, it's like if you're trying to make a science fiction movie, just
Yeah.
as much if you're trying to make a rom-com, if you're making any genre movie, you have to have these sorts of elements within that to make it happen. If you
Hmm.
don't do them right, then you know it starts to falter.
No, but shout out to TCM.
Yeah,
Grew up
always.
on that channel. Grew up on that channel.
And now and it literally took the Avengers. It took Spielberg, Scorsese, was it
Like Paul
Linklater?
Thomas
Like
Anderson. I think
Paul Thomas
PTA ran
Anderson?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
I always tell people like,
we're not gonna talk about that devil. You know who I'm talking about, but we're not gonna
yeah.
talk about that
I always
dude.
tell people
Him.
I work in the film industry. To studio heads,
I like that this kiss
don't
doesn't feel
know.
forced. Like it
Oh
feels
yeah.
earned. It doesn't feel like a moment where I'm like, ah, this aged what like wrong or
Mhm.
something. No.
Like going back to what you said though, the studio heads don't. I hate to say it, that they don't really care. Like they
No,
don't
yeah,
care.
it's like, and it's like as much as any of them say, like, oh yeah, like I'm here for, you know, I love movies, this and
Which
that,
I
whatever. It's like you're worried
Wink
about your bottom dollar and your
Zaslav is
stocks.
he's on tape. There's a
Oh yeah, I heard. I
Warner
yeah,
Brothers documentary that when it got to Max. So we're,
yeah,
we're going on a whole different tangent right now. But when it got to
yeah. I
Max,
know.
the very first shot, and it was a pretty solid documentary series, like about like Warner Brothers history of movies. Like it was very well put together, and they got some big
Yeah.
directors to come on there and big actors. But like
Oh yeah, yeah. They
the
did
very
that.
first opening of it, I was
Oh,
dying
we're in the
laughing.
bathroom.
I was dying. Oh, we are in the bathroom. I was dying laughing because it was him walking into his office talking about how like he loves working for the studio and he's respected all the history of the studio. And then less than a year later,
That's some comedy
he's
right there,
shutting
man.
down he's shutting down what made his studio, and
Yeah.
that's when I was like, I always tell people like
The
these.
hypocrisy
It's a
is
bottom line. Yes,
yeah.
back in the day, there was some sort of studio execs did understand the art form, but nowadays
Yeah.
it's all money wise. It's all they don't care what the product is like, and then they know their Oscar movies aren't going to win.
And I
Not
and
not
I I
not
think the
that they're not gonna make money, but they know that, like, we can make these Oscar movies and then we'll make let's make Inside Out 7 because we know that's
yeah.
gonna make 500,000,000 and we're good to go for, like, let's make Toy
And
Story 8. Like, it's
I
like
think who it's George Lucas who was like, yeah, it's like I'm proud of what I did because I think it was like Star Wars or something where it's like, yeah, I made this big movie, but
mhm.
then that movie was able to make a rise in like art house movies because they needed more movies in
Yeah.
theaters. So they made movies with less budgets and more artistic movies that are pushing cinema.
It's like you watch, like,
And
this movie and you're just like, they just you like, when you're done watching it, you're like, they just I had like, if someone had never seen this movie before and they went
yeah,
and watched it, they probably at the end would be like, "I've never seen a movie like that."
yeah.
Like, they'd probably be
And
like,
I
"That was
think
great."
and I believe in people. Meaning, like, I think that if anybody watches a movie like Roman Holiday, as much as they watch like the new Marvel movie, whatever, like
Mhm,
a big budget movie, that they will be able to find something good within this movie.
mhm.
But that involves them not being on their phone or this or that. And it's
It's
all
hard to do
about
today.
discipline.
Attention
I'm not
span is
gonna,
hard it's hard to catch today.
I will say, like, I have so many bad habits, but when it comes to a movie, even if I'm rewatching a movie, like I will not try to touch my phone. Like, period. I'm watching a
Mhm,
movie. I'm not worried about the world. I'm worried about the world that has been made already for me to experience now.
mhm.
And right now we're sitting in William Wyler's mind watching this one, and it's awesome. I love it. I wouldn't, I'd rather be doing this than something else.
And now you're watching them realize it's never gonna work.
And this is what I was talking. This is no, this is the moment where I was like, oh, this is lost. This is lost in
Mhm.
translation.
Oh, yeah. Again, she probably
Oh,
watched the scene.
she most definitely did. She had this movie going on in circles when she wrote it. But I
Like,
think
you could
there's I think the I think she sell or Sophia sells more melancholy and
Mhm,
there's more like genuine emotion, like physical, not physical, but like
mhm.
more emotion here between the two of the
Yeah. Like, you could even just take this entire blocking and be like, "I'm just gonna make the same scene." Like, I don't care.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
like, no
But
one's
I
gonna
think
see
it
it.
I think the
Like
photography on Lost is actually really good. They do
yeah.
need a 4K for that and they don't have one. That's a travesty.
They're, like, slightly out of focus here too, which is great. I love that.
Yeah.
I always love when
What's
it's like
funny, when I
like
see that, I'm like, "Oh, Fincher would hate this."
oh, yeah. But it's like, they go like, 'cause, like, they can't like, "Oh, we're gonna go, like, watch this digitally right now," and, like, they don't
Oh, yeah,
have that. So
there's
it's like,
nothing,
they
like
gotta go to the
it's just
daily
them
source
and the
at that time.
glass that day. It's them,
Yeah,
the
at that
glass, and the
time.
film.
Yeah, at that time, it's like, "Oh, it's slightly out of focus," so maybe we throw a melodramatic look on it, it'll look like it was supposed to be like that.
Yeah. In, in India, there's certain, like, when they're doing certain songs and stuff, they'll just change the lens for, like, just to have, like, the reaction shots for, like, certain
Mhm,
actors, like, during, like, a love song, and they push the art. It looks like that. It might look out of focus or something, but it's like, it just looks really cool.
mhm. Again, like, the lighting. There's just
Yeah.
one massive light coming, like, it's the
And
only light on the
and
block, like, it
and
works.
it's like if imagine trying to shoot this today. Like, how are they gonna know that
Mhm.
this is the this is her trying to go back to like the palace? They would
Yeah.
have to have some like this it is a grandiose entrance, but it's not like nowadays it would be like some like mega mansion looking sort of thing where
Mhm.
she'd be going back and there's like a bunch of guards and this and that, but they make this extremely intimate.
And they don't even light the palace, it's just the gate, like, you don't even
Yeah.
need to see it. And again, you shoot them separate here because Their
Yeah, they're
relationship's
dividing
ending.
back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though they're shoulder to shoulder, this
Hmm.
tiny car. This is the most any man has shown emotions and love back then. Nowadays, men show
I'd
their
fall.
emotions too much. Not too
I'd fall
much,
in
but
love with her
like,
on set. I'd probably fall in love with her on set. I'd be like, yeah, I love her.
hey, I mean, it's not the first time that's happened with anybody.
Not the first time and not the last. I mean, they didn't fall in love.
Yeah.
They became very, very good friends, though.
But I mean, like,
I
I
mean,
mean, in
he
real
went to
life, I
bat
mean,
for
there's,
her.
yeah,
Like he was the one that was like, no, like she's top billing. Like she's on that
yeah.
poster because they weren't even gonna put her name on the poster. It was just gonna be Gregory
Oh,
Peck and
wait,
Roman
what?
Holiday. It was
What?
just gonna be Gregory Peck and Roman Holiday.
Jeez.
And he was
These
like, no, no,
men.
no, 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 no. He's like,
Nah,
She's
put
on the
some
poster.
respect on Aubrey's name.
She's on the poster,
She is
and she's
so
getting
good
the
in this.
same amount of money as I am because she's so good in this."
So did he win an Oscar for this?
No,
Okay.
she won the Oscar. Yeah,
She won the Oscar. Okay. Because it's deserved for her. I don't know about him,
yeah, he's
which
fine.
seems
He's good
like
in
I'm
it, but like,
complaining. Yeah, I
yeah, he's
know.
good in it, but he's not like she's a
He's not the
performance.
juice in the movie. Like
Yeah,
he's
she's
kind
a
of the straight
performance.
man to all the comedy.
Yeah.
But it's like he has to sell the drama of like trying to make rent, whatever.
Mhm.
And then it's like, no, it's like crap, I actually love this woman. What we will do for love.
But I love how there's just like there's no guards. Like it's like you said, like there's nothing.
Yeah.
And then in that shot, she doesn't even go into the gate. Like she's not gonna knock on the
Yeah,
door, being like, "Hey, I'm
yeah.
back. Like,
Did you
you
miss
can let
me?
me in now."
Were you looking for me?
But it's like I always saw that is it's very like subtle, as in like anyone in like normal royalty would probably go through the gate, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she still doesn't because it's still like more of a
It's
she's
more of a
still not
habit
this
for her to
person.
like sneak
Yeah,
back in, right? Because it's
yeah.
like we didn't talk about it before, but it felt like it's something where she's done it before. She snuck out before, and I think she
Mhm.
says in the movie, she's like, I meant to only be gone for 3, 4 hours.
Yeah. But again, in this shot right here, she's probably standing on apple boxes to make it look like she's so much taller than them.
Yeah,
Like
and I
now
did
she's become a
realize
hero.
they're all wearing the same costumes too.
Yeah. And
They
now
s- they sh
she's over them now. Like she all wearing all black, being like, no,
yeah,
this is how it's going to be now.
and she cut her hair.
Yeah. So you shoot them all the same, and she's by herself she's
Yeah,
giving direct orders now.
yeah. She seems stern now.
Yeah, more stern. Like she doesn't she's lost that innocence. The hair's gone. Like she's now being like, no, you can't talk to me this way anymore, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know if like I'm not. I forgot her. Is it Lauren Bacall that's in Wizard of Oz?
No, it's
I don't know.
Judy Garland. No, Judy Garland.
Judy Garland. Okay. But I don't know. They look similar. I think it's her and that it's someone else. It's like they've got very similar like facial structure or
Mhm.
something. Something makes me feel like before I started watching Hepburn movies maybe in high school if I remember right because someone showed me Breakfast at Tiffany's and I was like
Mhm.
besides the one little racist bit that's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing again, going back to
That's a
these older
blemish.
movies. Going
Yeah,
back
I
to these
know
older movies, it's like, you look at them and
it's
you're like,
like
"Ugh, that would
mm,
not," but then it's like, at the time, it's just like,
there's
yeah,
not a single person of color in this entire movie.
no. It's like like, in most of those movies, you're just like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
God, like, that's not good." But,
But they're
like
good movies. They're good
yeah.
movies.
But it's like this whole even when she, like, left, like, they all still were shot separately from her, like, leaving and they're
Yeah.
all bowing down out. It's like, this is who she is now, like,
And
she's going to be
now once
very, like,
again in her
basically
big
saying,
palace, she's alone.
I'll continue to do this. I'll be this person, but it's gonna be different around here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be
And
this innocent
that's
child."
that's how you know it's been a good movie where you
Mhm.
actually have that sort of like emotional catharsis
It's
for
great
your
character
character.
development. Yeah, great
Because
character
my
development for
problem
her.
is like I'll watch movies and then if I don't feel that like earned moment by the end of the movie, which I feel like all movies should do that for me
Mhm.
in my head, then it hurts me. Like
Mhm.
it's like something went wrong.
Yeah.
And maybe other people felt it. I didn't feel it. You know, we're all different people. But what I love about this movie though is like some movies would probably end there, which I think Lost kind of ends in
Hmm.
that sort of like moment. But this
Hmm.
movie takes another 15-ish minutes and you
You see the
really,
aftermath of what happened,
yeah,
aftermath of their hangout, essentially.
yeah.
Them obviously in love with each other, and then you see the aftermath, and then the final scene,
It's
which is so
it's
good.
genius writing. Yeah, that final scene is just genius writing. I'm like, ah, like, yes, this is a very romantic scene. And
Hmm.
I don't know, like I like just to speak to like what the contemporary romantic movie like vibe is like people look down upon it and they don't really give it enough respect. Like did you watch Celine Song's Past Lives?
Hmm. See, that
It's
that to me was more of, like, I feel like romantic movies now are just thrown into rom-coms, like, they're just like,
yeah, yeah,
"Oh,"
they
like,
that's what they say they are, but it's like
that's what,
nah,
like,
it's like
this is what sells now, is that romantic comedies, like, then you make a movie like Past Lives, which is, like, this type of vibe. It's obviously Past Lives is
yeah,
not a comedy, but it's, like,
but
this
it's
type of,
it's
like,
romance.
subtle
It's like
romance. It's, like, this
yeah.
romance where it's not, like, a romance
It
for
feels
laughs.
it feels like you're capturing life in a real way. That's what
Yeah,
it feels like. And it's like
it's
that
like
sort of like and it's based within romance. And when you do that,
mhm.
it works extremely well. Have Barry Jenkins, if Medicine and Melancholy, Moonlight, if Bill Street could talk, the man like knows how to
You make
do
romance.
romance.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm jealous of the way that that man does his work. I'm like
Mhm.
that's the future.
'Cause
That
if you sell
Giselle,
those yeah, if you sell, like, those movies, like, the people like, say if someone goes to, like, "Oh, it's a romance movie," like, in their mind, they're probably thinking it's more of, like,
yeah,
a t like, a
rom-com.
type of comedy, so it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. But
which
it's
is
like
like
I think inherently if you have a good movie, like if I'm thinking of like my favorite movies, all of them have comedy within them, whether it's like
mhm,
a horror movie, an action movie, a heist movie, like Ocean's 11 is a very funny movie.
yeah, because
Rush Hour,
everyone can relate to
it's
comedy,
like
everyone
yeah,
laughs, so it's like and then everyone relates to romance because everyone wants to fall in love with somebody, like,
yeah,
everybody has that. Like, those are
yeah,
the 2 and then that's when how they blend together, and make let's make a romantic comedy, and it's like and then
yeah,
that's when it becomes more of just a straight kind of laughs, and, like I said,
yeah. It's like
looking
you're
at
going for
Past Lives is a movie that would've been made in the '50s and '40s and '60s, like, that,
yeah, yeah.
that's, like, that brief encounter type of, like,
And talk
vibe.
about framing. We're talking about like this movie has genius framing and
Mhm,
past lives with Blofeld, like whatever they did on that movie, the sauce on that movie is amazing. I'm like, oh, it's
mhm,
like the every single shot feels like they thought about this. There's love behind even behind the camera. There's love for this story and the way that it's told.
mhm,
And look at and just for Roman Holiday, you can feel that love too.
mhm. That's
And
what I
like
was
that's what it should be.
it feels like movies, like, at this time, like, it seemed like they took more care into how they actually wanted it to look, as opposed to, like,
And
now where it's
and
a
I
lot of
think
it's, like, Netflix movies that are released every, like, week, they all look the same, they all look
and it's
framed
not
the same.
it's like
It's
and
like
it's the problem was is like it people thought of it as this is as a venture of art
mhm,
rather than the next thing that they're releasing or to to appease their viewers or whatever it is and or their shareholders whatever.
mhm,
And it's like once in a while even those systems get it right, but getting it right sadly is not the norm.
mhm.
I wonder who shot all these photos because they did come out well.
Yeah. It's like, "Damn, he's a good photographer."
Yeah. Bro had his clothes ruined like twice in this movie
Yeah.
with water.
They're still wet too here, the wine stain's still on it, which is
Yeah,
funny. But I love this, it's very, like they both know, like, it's like,
yeah.
because they both like her, like, he's, like, friends with
I
like, "You
think
can't do this."
yeah, I think the word that he uses right there, it's fair game. It feels like
Mhm.
something that's like a guys would say now, and it's like if someone
Yeah,
said that to me, it's like she's fair game. It's like
yeah.
It's like it
He's
is
probably
that
saying
sort
that it's
of
like she's royalty, so it's like she's royalty and
yeah.
we're here, so it's fair game. Like this is what
We
she's
gotta
supposed to do.
yeah, and it's like we gotta
But
make
again,
our bread. It's like
he also is friends with her, so he's also like,
yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
And then
Or else
the
he
look at
wouldn't show
the
up.
look at the
It's like
clothes
this
again. I
yeah.
love that. I
This
love the
in
look
this
at the
scene
clothes.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, look what I had to go through to get
Yeah.
this, and you're not even gonna use it. Like,
and 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 I loaned you $50.
yeah. Here we
This right
go.
here, this set, man, or whatever this location is, just
So good.
wow. Just wow.
So these are all the people in here are actually like reporters in real life.
Oh,
They
interesting.
use them just for, like,
They pulled up the
yeah.
real press.
Mhm.
Back when they actually respected the press
Yeah.
and journalists.
Until that, he will not be named. He shall not be named on this.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
We will not name that man.
Yeah. Man rolled up with his actual camera finally.
Yeah. Because she doesn't know who they are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I love that it's like they're investing you within these narratives and they're doing the payoffs correctly
Mhm.
at each time and it's like they leave one till the last second and it's like
Yeah.
it's perfect. It lands perfectly. Like emotionally, like she's back in jail, right?
Mhm.
And then she sees her like the way that he's looking at her and the way she looks at them even,
Like,
going
she
through
knows.
all the people.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
like
yeah.
no one else no and the beauty is that the way they shoot it and all that it's like we know what happened, but
Mhm.
everyone else doesn't know. And that's what their story is always going to be.
Yeah.
That's what the story has to be because
Mhm.
that's the confinement of their relationship or their lives. And there's a beauty within that, right?
Mhm.
And it's nothing that's spelled out, right? It's nothing where it's like, oh, like they're saying this, but it's like, I feel this, and that is their intention, and it sells. It's great.
That's all you need right there is just those shots. The look again when she sat down.
Yeah.
And she keeps looking over at him.
Yeah. She thirsty.
Yeah, she's like,
I mean,
"Damn."
he thirsty too. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's like,
I'd be too. I'd
but
be
it's
like,
like
"Damn."
I think she's also scared at the same time, right? Because she didn't know he was press.
Yeah.
It's like, is this dude gonna put me on blast?
Mhm. But again,
Low
so
key,
now
all this feels irrelevant of what she's talking about. It's like all the politics stuff or whatever.
mhm. She knows what to say.
Yeah, then she's
And they're
turning
like,
over to one person. She's talking
yeah.
to one dude in this room.
But now when she's speaking to the press, she's going against what the royalty behind her is telling her to
Oh
do.
yeah. Oh yeah. That pause right afterwards after she says that.
Mhm.
That's really good.
And they don't break eye contact.
Yeah. Who was it? Rachel Ziegler.
Mhm.
She was just she shared a thing like she was like, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, this was from the first day I was on set for West Side Story, and Spielberg
Oh,
was
yeah, I
like,
saw that
don't
today.
blink.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that today.
Oh,
Like,
no,
she
no,
was
and
like,
it's like it's the same principle as where it's like, don't blink. And the
yeah,
intention behind not blinking is very much the same intention where it's
yeah.
like this long like stare between two
Mhm.
individuals who are like falling in love or have been in love, whatever it is.
And she's like, "Yeah, now imagine Janusz Kaminski throwing a huge light in your face," and Spielberg being like, "Hey, don't blink," and then like, "All right, action." Uh, okay,
I am
and like,
blind.
don't blink. Yeah, but like you said though, if you don't like, they both didn't blink. It's like
Yeah.
that's how you show the emotion in the eyes.
Yeah. And it looks like his eyes are watering here at this point,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, this like
I love this. I love
that.
this.
Yeah, like she knew.
But he means it, and it's
It's
interesting
like a
when it's like
respect.
you
Yeah.
see that she's almost apprehensive of like of
Yeah.
that.
I
As
think
like,
that's when she
is this
realized like, oh crap, like there's other photos of me in that
yeah, yeah,
moment.
yeah. But it's like, what was their intention there, right?
Yeah.
But they quite literally just
And then
hand them
she
over to
knows and
her.
hands the photos to her. They know. Because then that's for her. Spoiler in 35
30
seconds.
seconds. My bad.
Well, I assume you're
I'm
gonna.
spoiling a 70-year-old
Yeah.
movie.
No spoilers. I always make a joke. Haven't read the Bible yet. No spoilers yet, though. No spoilers.
Who's this Jesus character? He sounds pretty good.
I'm halfway
I,
through it. I hope he makes it to the end.
yeah. Judas, I love Judas. I would love to be Jesus' Judas.
You're just waiting. It's
And
a great shot.
this is one shot, yeah.
Like the tension of you just waiting for her to get there.
Yeah. And it's like everything anybody else is
Yeah.
saying, everything is
Nothing
irrelevant.
matters. Yeah.
The
You're
tension
just
is
waiting
building and
for
it's
this
one
moment.
shot. It's
Yeah.
one shot, and Weiler is just like choosing it for everything it's got. And it
Hmm.
sells, right? It's simple, it's elegant, it's epic, and mainly it's emotional, right?
Hmm. Here you go. Here are the photos I took of you.
I love that photo. That's the
Hmm.
best photo out of all of them, isn't it?
Yep. Being like, here you go.
So,
Then he cut to the close up,
okay.
change the angle.
We talked about how we do not like these IP stuff, but can we make a Princess Diaries 3 that's low key like this?
Seriously, it's just the same
I
movie.
will write this movie. I will make this movie just to have this scene happen.
But again, like right there, that shot's like all you need. You basically end this shot for those two close-ups.
It looks like
Basically,
it
them saying "I
almost
love you," and then like,
yeah,
and she never looks back. That was the end of it.
and it almost looks like she's looking past these people. Like it's
Hmm.
she's like she's done. She's
Yeah,
dismissed.
and then she knows right
It's like
there, like she's never gonna see him again, and that was
yeah.
it.
And that shot where whatever they're waiting, yeah, the tension's great, but it's also one of the shots where it's like where they're pulling back the camera
Hmm.
rather than, just a static camera or anything like that the entire movie, or like simple pans or follows like most of these shots are. They're breaking up the visual flow. And obviously I'm building to something here. I'm gonna let you take the rest on that.
One last look.
She's trembling. God.
Never see him again until I make Roman Holiday 2.
the
Coming in
the Roman
Netflix. Coming to Netflix February of next year. It's gonna be a Netflix dump.
two Romans, two holidays.
Yeah.
Roman
This
holiday,
time,
electric boogaloo.
this time there's cars.
This time, there's none of them because they're both dead. We're gonna recast them. Who are we gonna
I
recast? Who would you recast in that role? Jeez,
don't know.
I'm talking about
I
my
have to watch this
podcast
last
now,
shot.
man.
I have to watch this last shot now. It's my favorite shot of the movie. Here you go.
And you see the scale change now, right? And now we're
Hmm.
in
Oh, I love it.
no music, right?
I love it.
No steady cams back then or anything. They just
Because I always saw it as like he's just this guy in this like look at this hall. She's
yeah.
royalty. And as he's leaving, he's like the only they're all servants in there. And he's just by himself leaving.
And low key, what it is, I think like the time that they take with it Emotionally for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's like in any other rom-com where it's like, or any other romantic movie where it's like she comes back for him, right?
Oh yeah.
Like she
It's
runs
almost like you want.
outside
It's
and they
almost like you're
kiss.
expecting her to run out, and she doesn't, and he like
Exactly.
stops and looks back, and like, and that's it.
But it's like I feel like I've felt this moment in my life before. It's where it's like I'm walking, so I'm somewhere, and it's like this almost like melancholy.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, where are the credits? Oh wait, the credits are
The
at the beginning of the movie.
credits are in the beginning.
I felt so stupid for a second. I was like, oh, okay. Because because after like that bombshell of and like that amazing ending, where I'm like, I kind of just need the credits to play so I can like collect myself.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
No, more the credits should be in more movies in the beginning, I think, and then at the end
Oh
it should
yeah,
just
no,
be
no, they
the
should be.
end.
At the end, it should be bloopers. It should be bloopers and then like photos
Bloopers.
of everybody who worked on the
Imagine
movie.
you watch this entire movie and then they just have bloopers right. It's like you're like, wait, what?
It's just you know, it's just Gregory Peck doing a stand-up routine.
This podcast is hosted and edited by Pat Brennan. That's me, with intro and closing music by Patrick Baxter.